I think Natasha Howard certainly stands out. I loved playing with Tosh.
But you cannot say enough about
I cannot say enough about Tosh. I really enjoyed playing with her. I think she really is she's just this glue player that doesn't get enough shine for what she does, because a lot of what she does doesn't show up in the box score, but she just is like always in the right place at the right time. And a player like that, I think, complements what Indiana is.
Sue Bird doesn't throw around title contender like it's confetti. This is a woman whose entire career was built on smart decisions on the court, off the court, with her words, with her passes. If she's telling the world that the Indiana Fever have something special, she's not guessing, she's warning you.
Obviously, through trade, added Sophie Cunningham, a player that, I would say a 3-and-D type player who has, been to the finals, so has that playoff experience. She's also just tough. She's mentally tough. She's physically tough. She brings an edge to them. And then last but not least, they added Dewana Bonner, which really I think is the one that for most people took it to another level. So now you're like, oh, they're a contender.
So Sue Bird is one of the greatest point guards of all time in the WNBA. And she's someone who obviously is a part owner in the Seattle Storm. So hyping up another team is a bit of a conflict of interest, if we're being honest.
Sure, nothing's guaranteed. No one's handing out championships in February. But here's the part people are missing. Indiana isn't just a fun young team anymore. They're not here to develop, they're here to win. And that should terrify the rest of the league. Because the scariest thing in sports isn't just talent, it's talent mixed with belief. It's a team with momentum, it's players who've been told you're not ready yet, and who respond with actually. Bird sees that belief brewing in Indiana. She recognizes it. Because she's lived it, she knows exactly how dangerous it can be.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what everybody talked about when we were in the playoffs last year of, we really didn't have much experience at all playing in playoff games. I don't know what the exact number was, but we really lacked in that area. So just adding pieces of, players that have been in this league, they know what it takes to win. They know what it takes to get to the finals. They know what it takes to win championships. I think it's exactly what we needed in our locker room. So it's just exciting, but also they're not only really good basketball players, they're really great leaders and really great people. And I know the front office obviously really prioritized that and looking for the pieces that we wanted to add. So really
The biggest part of DB joining this team is that she's already played for Steph. So I think that's going to help bridge the gap, because as we go along, we're going to talk about Vegas and Seattle, Atlanta. It's really going to be which
Stephanie
team.
White being the head coach of,
right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you.
Was the head coach of Connecticut, now the head coach of Indiana.
Yeah. So it's really going to be the team that finds their chemistry. This season is short. I mean, they're adding games, but it's still pretty short season.
Short, yeah, still short.
And it's going to be the team that finds chemistry. So having Stephanie White there, having already coached DB, really does help. Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about Cheryl Swoops, because oh boy, that hot take. She dropped about real talent, never choosing Indiana, is aging like milk left out in the sun. In fact, it's starting to look like one of those cold takes that ends up on compilation reels with dramatic violin music playing in the background. You know the type. This didn't age well, written all over it. Because against all odds, and against Swoops as entire thesis players, are choosing Indiana not reluctantly, not as a last resort, they want to be there. And why it's about Caitlinclark.
Angel's balling, Caitlin continuing to impress, and she's going to break records nonstop for the next couple years. Yeah. It's just going to be a constant record.
Yeah, you heard me. She's the headline act, the box office. Draw the reason Indiana Fever jerseys are flying off the shelves and ticket sales are skyrocketing. Indiana isn't some forgotten, struggling franchise anymore. This isn't the WNBA version of a pee party. They're building something real. And when someone like Sue Bird says, hey, this team is about to be a serious problem, you better believe players across the league are listening. Because Sue isn't just out here handing out compliments like participation trophies. She's not on TV for shock value. When she speaks, it's because she sees something. And what she sees in Indiana isn't just potential, it's a team that's not sitting around waiting for success to magically show up, they're hunting it down.
Indiana Fever team.
They getting paid in what?
That are no, but players who will be free agents next year. There's a lot of other going on that players are like, this ain't where I want to be.
And yeah, there's a narrative out there that Kathy made the call. All right, Kathy Engelbert. Oh, we got to make sure we get Caitlinclark the championship. And I told you there's narrative floating. Number one, they're freaking out. Number two, the next thing you're about to hear is Caitlinclark needs a super team to win a championship. So they're going to downgrade her status And they're going to shit on her over that. It's already started. That's where they're going with this.
Look at the moves. This isn't some sane Sella story where they're banking on Caitlinclark to be their fairy godmother and magically fix everything with a three-pointer. They've been stacking up real pieces that make basketball sense. Every signing, every trade, every draft pick has been part of a plan, a blueprint designed to let Caitlinclark express her talent without carrying the entire franchise on her back. Let's talk about free agency for a second. Because this is where it gets juicy. Suddenly, Indiana isn't just a place players go to get some minute and pad their stats. It's a destination, a place where you can actually win, a place where you'll be playing on national TV in front of packed arenas with a fan base that's growing faster than Angelreese's list of excuses. And most importantly, you get to play alongside a young core that's only getting better.
Something about the way she plays the game, her passing, her shooting, that people really identify with. I really feel like we're poised and we're set up for a great, successful next era of Fever.
Sydney Colson is joining the Indiana Fever. What does that mean? Indiana is just being so greedy right now. They took DB, they took Natasha, now they got Sydney Colson. Like, why would they take Sydney from?
And our ultimate goal is to hang another banner in the field house. And our ultimate goal is to come back in here after we win that championship and celebrate again like we did in 2020.
What does Bonner's addition now mean for the Fever's title potential?
I think the Indiana Fever, with the addition of DeWanna Bonner after already adding Natasha Howard and Sophie Cunningham, are now in the championship conversation, along with the New York Liberty, the Minnesota Lynx, and the
Fever, if you haven't been paying attention, they are really active in ensuring that Caitlinclark and company have a true contending lineup next season. They have Caitlinclark, they have Aaliyah Boston. They made sure that they re-signed Kelsey Mitchell. That was a big one. They acquired both Natasha Howard and DeWanna Bonner. They traded for Sophie Cunningham. They still have Lexi Hull. And now they have made a move that is literally my favorite of WNBA free agency. They have signed Sydney Colson, base of the WNBA. If you know,
Sophie Cunningham she is there to be basically the enforcer. She played a lot of the 5 at Phoenix. She literally played 1 through 5. She guarded 1 through 5 at Phoenix. There is maybe a not more versatile glue player in the WNBA than Sophie Cunningham. There are better players, there are more versatile players, but no more versatile glue players in 100k a year than Cunningham. She's almost a one-of-a-kind in what
from the Aces. She is 100% vibes. She is 100% going to be a backup for Caitlin. It's going to be fantastic. Backup for Kelsey. Like, she is a great addition to this backcourt. She has senior leadership. She has championship experience. She is the most fun ever. And Stephanie White and the Indiana Fever front office is not messing around. They are putting everything in place to make sure that this year is a championship caliber team. And every addition, it gets better and better and better.
Colson is going to the Indiana Fever. I don't think anyone saw this in the cards, literally. I personally feel like it's a good pickup. I think it's a well upgrade over Erica Wheeler. No shade to her. A lot of people are like surprised as to why she didn't stay in Vegas. And in all honesty, there's a lot of reasons why she may feel called to leave the Aces.
Are you in a position where you can add some pieces?
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position. And I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play.
I see a lot of players wanting to go, in this offseason, a lot of players are going to want to go to the